Hi everyone, how are you? Welcome to your last essay. Yay! All right, we are getting there. So this is our last big essay for this class, essay number 4. It's an argument essay. So we get to argue our position and try to persuade people that they should agree with us, right? Okay, so you can pick whatever topic you want for this essay, but try to pick something that you know something about, that you have some previous knowledge of, so that you can write it without having to worry about researching. Again, we're not focusing on researching in this class. If you want to include a source, you can, but you'll have to make sure that you cite any sources that you use. So don't feel like you have to do that. It's okay to just pick something that you already know something about. Don't pick too big of a topic. It needs to be a focused topic that you can cover in a couple of pages. And stay away from any extreme topics like capital punishment or abortion or even legalizing marijuana. There's just not enough time in this essay to do that. There's no way to do that without research. And really, some of those are moral decisions that there's no way to really persuade people about those. So instead, focus on something small, something reasonable, something that is maybe local or just a specific thing. And it doesn't have to be a life-changing topic, right? It can be something as small as, I think that my local park should build a playground on it, something like that. A couple things to remember with persuasive essays. When you write a persuasive essay, you need to think like the audience. In other words, imagine what it would take for someone to convince you something is true, right? They would need to be kind. They would need to be nice. They can't be rude in their writing. It's important to have good reasons that make sense. It's important to have proof as to why your reasons are true. And it's important to prove that you are the expert, right? That you have the information, the knowledge, and why people should trust you and trust your opinion instead of other people's. You also have to acknowledge any counterpoints, any counter arguments, meaning people who disagree with you. You've got to acknowledge what they think, right? And either say why they're wrong or why what their objections are not important enough. Those are all important elements of an argument. And the best way to do that is to think, okay, how would someone need to prove something to me? Then that's what I have to do to prove something to someone else. We do have inner and outer voice for arguments. Our inner voice is our arguments, right? This is what I believe. This is why I believe it. Our outer voice are the examples and evidence and proof that we give for why what we're saying is true. Remember, you don't have to have research, so your evidence can be your personal stories. It could be stories of friends or family. It could be stories from the news, just that you know. Again, pick something that you're knowledgeable about. So if it's something that you already should have examples or stories that you can tell to prove that particular topic. So let me give you an example of something that sounds like an argument. So for example, maybe I'm going to argue that it's too soon to switch from having cable and satellite to just streaming. I don't think it's a good idea yet. I don't know that I believe that, but it's a good enough topic we all know about, right? So let's say one of my paragraphs then, or my thesis, right, would be customers should stay with their cable and satellite companies instead of cutting the cord and going to all streaming at this point. That's it. That's my thesis. You can add reasons if you want in your thesis, but you don't have to. You can also just give what you think, and then your essay is going to give all your reasons. One of my reasons might be about sports, right? Because if you go to streaming, you can't really see a lot of live sports. So my topic sentence might be something like, customers who are sports fans should know that if they cut cable or satellite, most streaming services don't have access to live sports. most households in this country have sports fans, and by cutting cable or satellite, you cut off access to that live sports feature. Then I need to give an example, right? So I might say something like, for example, in my hometown of Chicago, we have two teams in the playoffs right now, the Blackhawks and the Bulls. And even if you aren't a regular sports fan, if you're enough of a sports fan, even if customers, see, we want to avoid the word you. It always sounds a little not so nice, and you never know who the person is reading your essay. So avoid the word you. Say customers or people, whatever other, noun to refer to people. So I might say, customers who aren't normally sports fans but are for playoffs need to think about that before they cut their satellite or cable, because they might not have access to the live sports. Okay, so I hope that helps you with writing your persuasive essay. Be sure you've read the chapter if you haven't yet. This week we've got some assignments coming up to think about topics, right? Post those topics, give feedback on those topics by Thursday. And there's some reading to do in the chapter about logical fallacies, and also just our regular example essays to read and answer questions for. I will also at some point this week, probably for Thursday, post an assignment for transitions to help you with those. Your drafts will be due next week, right? So you've got a whole week in here before those are due. All right, so good luck this week. Please email me with any questions or concerns, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.